Yeah. Pay the fucking creators. Podcast.
Don't be that podcast guy.
I want to be like that producer.
Which guy are you going to be?
I'm the producer tag. What I just said is your new producer tag for all the rest of your podcasts. Pay the fucking creators, dude.
BeatStars, the foundation, the precedence. We flying flags in every city, global residence. And we killing off the masters. Ghetto slave driving bastards. We making hits faster than you could think. We're on the brink of revolution. All my indie music makers, here's your restitution. We got the game in a chokehold. Not paying the creators is a no-no. I got the smoke road for all the fam bam.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy A Batchon, and this is the Pay the Creators podcast here on BeatStars. Back for another episode, and this time around, I got my dog, special guest, originally from Detroit, Michigan, but is an Austin area, Texas resident right now.
Had to come down yonder.
That's got a song that's shaken up social media, especially TikTok right now, with over 100 million actual plays on TikTok just in the last 2 months. Now, this song does have a backstory. Had a kind of like history-defining moment a little bit, you know, right now, especially with what's happening back in Palestine, and I can't wait to like jump into it. But you know, first and foremost, you know, I want to recognize you as a creator, an artist, a music producer, someone that has. I just want to give you your flowers for standing up, using your voice, using your platform when, you know, I think, and then you also being Jordanian, our Jordanian brother,
of course,
like our Urdani brother, you know,
brothers
like,
in arms for sure.
You know what I mean? Like to join in and make us feel like we're not alone in this struggle.
Absolutely.
And it's actually you're going through it, because Jordan and Palestine is literally family. Everybody has cousins, and man, everyone's got cousins, but salt.
I don't think there's a big difference between Palestinians and Jordanians. So I'm still trying to find
keep it real. That's hometown. That's hometown too for us Palestinians. So we'll get into the song. The song is called "Sound of War." We'll get into that. But man, Eddy Mack, thank you for joining this podcast, bro.
I'm glad to be here, man. Come on now. You know, I jumped at the opportunity to come sit down here with you. It's even funny too, because like I was telling people, like, you know, I've heard about you for so long. I've used BeatStars before in the past, and you know, just how the world comes full circle, you know, and just sitting here with you, it's just, you know, it's a full, you know, circle moment for me, and I'm just, you know, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I think what's dope for me is that BeatStars connected with you before I connected with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy, right?
You know,
like,
you were already connected to the platform in a way, making songs, and you've been making, you know, putting out music for the last 5 years or so, right?
A little bit longer,
a little bit longer. Yeah. And when you told me that, when I first met you at our brother Anis's concert here in Austin.
Shout out Anis. What up? What up, dog?
Yo, Anis is
he's overseas right now, killing it right now.
Gosh, can you say something about Anis? Can you just say anything about
it? Man, so Anis.
How would you? What's your feelings about Anis?
I love Anis. Okay,
I want to know.
Me and Anis go back maybe 5 years, 2018, 2017. Yeah. So, and this is when he had 1,000 followers, man. I was putting out music, and he was so supportive, man. He was just so supportive, and I knew he was so talented. And you know, I was just always just in awe of his voice, his rhythms, his melodies. He's a great artist, man. And just to see him skyrocket and blow up and do the things he's doing and spread the message he's spreading, and I'm beyond proud of that kid, man. He's really started from the bottom, and I was just glad I got to see it from the bottom. You know what I mean? So shout out Anis.
On some real shit. Like those who know Anis's journey, it kind of was, you know, there in the early days when he was first making music, and just seeing what the voice he's had, what he means to people. Like when they look at him, like he means love to them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
he embodies that.
He's an embodiment and a reminder of what love is and how human beings should like treat each other and just respect each other. So I'm so proud of that dude. He's going
amazing.
overseas, bro. overseas spreading the word about love and unity
and Palestine,
freedom for Palestine.
Exactly, I love it, man. Yeah.
So, all right, let's get back into the Eddy Mack original OG story.
Okay, where it started.
Born and raised Detroit, Michigan, one of the craziest music hubs in America.
It is crazy out there, for sure.
You know, I have a lot of ties in history to Detroit, Michigan, in terms of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've done some work with Obi Trice. I've done some work with Royce the 5'9".
Yeah.
I've done some work with some just legends in Detroit music, and those are some of my favorite artists, bro. Those are some of my favorite freaking artists.
That's where it started, man. You know? My dad actually, he owned like a really big dollar store way back when on Warren and Connor in Detroit. And, you know, he was so close with the African-American community out there because so many businesses shut down and left there. And he opened up the biggest, I mean, it was the Walmart of that area of Warren and Connor, right? So everybody would always hang out in the parking lot. People would sell their CDs, musicians, artists. And I would always hang out outside with them, 5, 6-year-old kid. You know what I mean? They'd watch over me, they'd protect me. And you know who's actually out there? I don't know if you're familiar. The Cheddar Boys.
Oh, yeah.
The Cheddar Boys were always out in front of my dad's store slaying their CDs out. Right. So I was always hanging around them. They're all rapping outside. Yeah. So in terms of like where I probably really found my love for music would probably be right there, you know? Just being around those guys, it was just, I look forward to it every day, just being around all of them. And, you know, it's one of my biggest memories. And that's where I think that musical side kind of grew in me. You started there for sure.
Right. And I think that's dope that you bring back and you talk about, you know, the hip hop artists and creators and musicians or independent entrepreneurs that inspired you from your region. Because I think we as people that are making a living in hip hop, that are actually like part of this hip hop culture, you know, especially not being from the African-American background, is a beauty to always shed light on where this hip hop thing started. Yeah. And the people that paved the way before us, like people from my neighborhood, like Spice One around the corner in Oakland, Richie Rich and Drew Down and E40 and Too Short and the Loonies and
that bass shit.
You know what I mean?
I love it. Yeah.
Without those guys' music in my life growing up in Hayward, California, I mean, they were the backdrop for me in the struggle that I had to face in Hayward. And then also tied back to the same struggle that I felt for our people back in Palestine. Of course. After visiting there and knowing that, you know, being a minority, being oppressed, being systematically taken advantage of, like we felt that as Palestinian people. And so I gravitated towards Black music and Black culture because I related with it being a Palestinian. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
And they were making music for me as this Palestinian American artist or Palestinian American kid, right? We have these two identities. We're American, we're Palestinian, we're Jordanian, we're American. We're proud of being both. We're born here. We're grateful for everything that we've accomplished in this country, but also at the same time, we are always going to be tied to the success and the condition and the freedom and liberation of our people, because we came here pretty much as refugees. Our ancestors came here as refugees, right? So
we understand this.
We know we are a guest in this home. We appreciate this home. But we also are very aware about our origin home, our native land, the stories, the beautiful music, the beautiful culture, the beautiful food.
It's who we are.
The identity of us being these Palestinians who are some of the greatest doctors and artists and creators and authors and lawyers
it's crazy for us to look like we're not even treated as humans, right? Like how they're trying to shift it, and like you said, we're some of the greatest musicians and lawyers and doctors, and it's just crazy.
Our contributions to society are so big. Like when you talk about like your father and his upbringing and what he contributed to his community here in America, you know. our contributions to society is big. Our music reaching millions of people, our ideas, our thoughts, our feelings, our worldly views should have value. Our blood should have value in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know if this conversation was going to go this way or that way. I'm just letting it fly.
It's just going.
This is not even, I guess it's like when I see a young brother that I see in myself as a young artist making music for Palestine, being the OG son of a refugee out there in the late 90s, screaming and yelling and screaming and yelling. Please hear me. Do you see me? Do you hear me? Do you see me?
Yeah.
Think I want to make music about genocide? You think we want to make music about the loss of life? You think we want to make music about being oppressed and pigeonholed, right? Cuz, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like,
man. It's just like, damn, man. Like, what we want to get back to being artists, right? And it's just like, we have no choice. We have to stand up for our people. There is no other option for us right now. If we're making music, it's for our cause. It's for our people, and we're gonna do it to the best of our ability. Absolutely. But do we want to be making music about this? No, we don't. We have to be making music about this. That's the difference. So, and to go back on it, of course you want to make music for your people, but it's just, why is this happening? Why is this the world? Like, so, man, it is what it is. And that goes back to another subject. Like, when I was putting out all this music for Palestine, in the beginning, I think I was getting some shit, right, for it. Like, you're always going to get the, oh, you're doing this for clout. You're doing it for this. You're doing it for that. But at the end of the day, I'm doing my duty. I can't just be an artist and sit and not use the most powerful tool in my pocket,
right?
Which is my voice, right?
Yeah.
When I make music about Palestine, it stems from anger. Emotion is the number one contributor to great music. It is what it is, you know what I mean? And then I was also...
Jay, can you do me a favor? Can you go to get my backpack? I gotta grab this scarf.
Yeah. We gotta put the scarf on, dog.
I gotta grab this scarf. Can't believe I forgot to put on my scarf. Yeah, thanks, dog. I can't believe I forgot to put on my scarf.
I wish I would have brought my scarf, dog.
It's okay. I'm gonna wear it. You're gonna wear it.
No. It's all good. It's all you.
You're gonna wear it.
No, I can't. I'm Jordanian. I'm Jordanian.
You are family. You are blood. You are ally. You are brother.
I love it, man. That's a nice one too.
And there's been a lot of controversy around this scarf, and I pray that people recognize and identify this scarf with the beautiful artistry of Palestinians.
Yeah.
Not with this manufactured identity that's been created of the Palestinian people.
Exactly.
Like this manufactured identity.
Let's talk about that real quick.
No. I'm just saying, like, cut it out.
Yeah.
You've never hung out with if you have, hang out with a Palestinian person, please.
Yeah, no.
Like, immediately, because your life will change.
You're gonna eat good. You gonna enjoy your life. Hey, you know what? Since we're talking about the scarf, let me see it real quick while we're at it. This is something big I wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm American, so I grew up in America. I'm Jordanian, right? But we're American. I grew up in America, right?
Right.
So at a young age, we are groomed to look at this as a symbol of terrorism. Mm-hmm. That's how we are groomed, right? When we see this wrapped around people's heads, when we're growing up watching the movies, these war films, and we see these wrapped around people's heads, Americans, whoever, look at this and they look at a sign of terrorism.
These are all olive trees right here.
Do you understand what this means?
The olive trees that they tore down. The olive trees they tore down.
Olive trees in the trade route, correct? It also symbolizes a trade route, right? Yeah. This is our culture. Guys, hey, hello. This is our culture. This is the things we wear. Just like
It's hot. It's hot in Palestine.
yeah, just like Indians wear
We had to
those.
protect our heads.
Yeah, just like Indians wear those nice long dresses with all the bedazzle. It's a part of their culture. So stop looking at this as terrorism, please. That's all I'm gonna say,
Thank
man.
you, brother. Thank you. I
I think
appreciate
that's
that.
a big one. We gotta put that out there.
Gosh. Okay. It is a damn. I haven't even got into one of the questions I have written down.
Well, let's get into it, man. Let's pop right in.
Fuck. Okay. We are doing our part. We could do more. I will just finish with saying, people, speak out.
Mm-hmm.
Call your local representatives.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be looking here. Speak out. Call your local representatives. Protest. Take advantage of your right to boycott.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you have, all the intention in your heart to just do your part in a way as much as possible, and not overburn yourself, even though right now is a really, really hot time and we need to be working and we need to be doing things, but we need to be doing things very smart. We need to organize. We need to connect. We need to invest in each other. We need to build some foundations. We need to take advantage of our influence. We need to take advantage of our influence, and we need to help save the Palestinian people from this horrific genocide that is happening right now. It needs to stop. A ceasefire needs to happen now. Permanently,
right now.
Occupation needs to be over right now. Give the Palestinians back their land. Give them their sovereignty. Give them their dignity. And this is what we need, and this is what is internationally recognized in law. And we would like to have our freedom. Thank you very much. And we would like to live and breathe and play and learn and share and
exactly.
we
just want peace and
live
freedom,
life,
man. That's it.
just like everyone else in the world. And now we have a worldly duty now.
Yeah.
We have a worldly duty now for all these orphans, these widows, these families that have been wiped off the face of the earth, entire lifelines of family, entire lifetimes of family. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Like, it's going to be our worldly duty to help those people after this, if there is after this.
Yeah. We got to continue to
You know
push,
what I mean?
man.
So this is a call from me and Eddie. I'm sure he agrees. Hopefully. I'm sure he
100%.
does. We call for a permanent ceasefire.
Permanent ceasefire.
And
End it today.
Removal of illegal occupation forces from the Palestinian territories immediately, and call for the recognition of a Palestinian state immediately. Thank you. Okay, back to the topic. Free Palestine. Back to the topic. Eddie.
Yes.
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan.
Give me a little bit, a kind of like a starting point from your journey here in America as a Jordanian American, growing up in Michigan, and then making your way out to Texas, and then pinpoint to me like when music became something that was, that flickered in your brain.
Right. So I think it really started, like I said, in front of my dad's shop growing up, man. It was everybody was selling their CDs, all the rappers. So I was always outside. I was always around them at my father's dollar store that he owned. So I think that's where I started to find a love for music. But I think that's where the love for it started, but I don't think I really pursued it until about middle school, I'd say. All my friends in my school, we all wanted to be rappers. We all thought that we were this rap group, you know what I mean? But here was the issue, is we're all a bunch of broke-ass kids. No money. We didn't have money for studio sessions, nothing like that. Parents weren't paying for them. So our issue was recording. So we all want to be rappers, but nobody knows how to engineer, produce, or record, right? So I kind of started taking that as my duty, right? Because I knew nobody else was going to do it. So I really started to, around 11 years old, 12 years old, I started to try to push to engineer. I was no good. I wasn't the best at what I was doing, obviously, but trial and error for so many years. So yeah, that's when I moved to Texas. Yeah, it's when I went from Detroit to Texas. That's where that kind of started.
Right.
So yeah, that's, and then after about 10 years, I kind of went into, all right, now I'm going to release some music, right? That was always my thing. That even at a young age, I wasn't gonna put out music because it wasn't gonna give anybody the credibility to listen to me later. Because I was gonna put out some straight trash. Like that's what I was gonna put out at that age. I knew I was trash.
Of course.
I knew I was young.
Developing.
I was a young kid and I didn't know what I was doing. But one day I knew I would get to a point where I knew what I was doing. Right.
Yeah.
So I put out my first song at 20, 21 years old. And you know, things really kind of shot up from there.
And what was that first single that kind of like the first song that I remember we were talking about?
Yeah.
Like it was really like the first song that really caught a lot of people's eyes. And
it was called EYE. That was my first song I ever put out. It had traction, man. It was good for a starting point. I wouldn't say it skyrocketed me. No. I had posted on SoundCloud. I woke up the next day, I had like 20,000 plays, 30,000 plays, 40,000 plays. Then I seen OVO SoundCloud reposted it. And that was big for me, right? So I started gaining a little momentum from there. But let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you artists something out here, okay? Music is a it's a track meet, buddy. It's you gotta go and go and go. This is a marathon. You know what I mean? This isn't something that's gonna happen overnight. They all say 10 years is your rookie decade. You gotta put that fucking work in, man. You have to. It's a struggle. It sucks. You want to give up, but man, it just takes time. It just takes time. And you got to push. You got to fight through, and you got to be consistent. You got to be so consistent in what you're doing, or people are just going to stop caring because people's attention spans are these days. If you're not in people's faces every day, you lost momentum. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. So
in the world that we live in, this digital first world that we live in,
Exactly.
you know, the constant impressions need to happen
yeah, you got to
organically
keep pushing.
and also inorganically
Mm-hmm.
with like paid advertising, performance marketing. You gotta really use, you know, the ad systems. You gotta really
Mm-hmm.
use all the marketing tools available to every artist to reach their customers, build their own.
Yeah, it's a digital world now, man.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know, you're someone right now. You got your music on. But let's hold on. Let's go back to the discipline that you talked about right now. You know what it takes. You know, you shared with me that you know you were in martial arts for so many years,
Yeah.
and like your father had his own dojo,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And you know had a community of kids learning martial arts,
Mhm.
and having
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
yeah.
That wasn't fun, Dad. Thank you very much, you know? But
but the discipline that it taught you, the martial
Yeah.
arts, you know, like is there, can you point to anything like in martial arts that you took with you throughout, you know, all those so many years that you
yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that I'll jump right away, and
Yeah.
if somebody asked me that, I would say is kind of slowing things down and taking emotion out of things, right? So when I was younger, I used to get so angry and blow up and this and that, and I'd see red, right? You know, but when we would fight in the ring, my father, his biggest thing he would teach people was slow it down. Slow the fight down in front of you, because when people fight and they freak, you lash out, you see red, you start swinging, and you end up on the floor. You don't know what the hell happened, right? So I think it really taught me to control my emotion and my discipline, and to really calm down and see things for what they are, not to jump to anything. And I carried that so much in my life, you know, and I would recommend anybody to go through that process, you know what I mean, in a good school, obviously. But yeah, and my father being my instructor, it was tough because at the end of the day, he had to show no favoritism. He had 400 students.
right.
If anything,
Where do you think all the hard work is now? So like when you think about it, it's no longer the amount of releases. It's not really centered around how many releases. It's how many stories that you can create around a release.
Yeah,
And then build
exactly.
content on those stories. That's where you're basically like the majority of the heavy lifting right now in music is content creation.
Yeah. And you got to
You know?
put context behind your music, I've noticed. Like, okay, just today, I obviously had a response to some Israeli artists that decided to say some nasty shit about Palestinians. So today, before I actually put it out, I gave people context of the situation, right? I did some stories and I told people what was going on, and you got to bring people in. You got to give them a reason to listen to you, right? You got to build stories around your music. You can't just say, "Oh, new leak, check out my new track." Yeah, it may work here and there, but it's the majority of the time it's not working, man. People got to buy into you. They got to buy into your brand. They got to buy into what you're doing, who you are. It's so much more than music. People need to understand that. So,
especially if like one of your goals is to be, you know, an influential artist, you know, and really like speak on topics. You know, a lot of you know, you see it a lot in sports. You're like, man, just shut up and ball. Stop talking about politics.
Yeah.
Stop talking about this. Stop talking about this. Stop standing for this. Stop. Like, just make music, bro. Just make music, bro.
Yeah.
Right. Just make soulless music, bro. Just make music that has no soul, bro.
Right. Make music that means nothing so I can listen to it. Okay, cool.
Right. But, you know, it's not every, I feel like, do you feel like it's every artist's responsibility to have at least some sort of experience that they can share, that they can like inspire someone to learn from?
Yeah, that's a part of branding, I think,
You know what
too.
I mean?
You know? Yeah. I mean,
You think that's everyone's responsibility? Like, there's some people, like we talk about this, and no, like I don't want to. This is the elephant in the room, especially within like the Arab and Palestinian community and just Arab community. Everyone, you know, we don't have to, you know, go too deep into this topic, but I have different views about people like Khaled, like DJ Khaled, that like I think a lot of people have, you know, kind of like really bashed him for not speaking on the Palestinian subject. And I don't think it's right to bash him. I don't think it's right to like, I think it's okay to hold each other accountable.
Right.
And we don't know what the reason is, right? We don't know what the reason is as outsiders looking in. We don't know the reasons that, you know, he hasn't spoken. Maybe he's waiting for the right time to speak. Maybe he sees himself as someone that's not like a political figure. He's an entertainer that really doesn't have like maybe like a political, like, you know, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't, like, politics is not really important to him. Like, he really does not care about national interests, countries, foreign policies. Maybe he's not interested in that stuff. Maybe, I don't know.
Here's the thing. I don't think you need to be political to say anything. Right. I think it is a tough situation.
But I will say, we've already heard some really important people have been fired from their jobs for taking a stance on just shedding, like giving a heart to the humanitarian cause in Palestine with, you know, the lack of water, lack of food, lack of electricity, lack of a movement, the 2.3 million refugees that have been displaced from the northern parts of Gaza now to the Rafah border. You know, like, people have lost everything. So like you can't, you know, millions of people have lost everything. And it's like, for some people in this world, it's illegal to have a heart for anyone in humanity.
Yeah.
That's going through some kind of like adversity. Like, really?
Yeah. It's something I never understood.
Like, for real?
Yeah, it's like they're almost making it borderline illegal, right?
It's illegal to like care about, if I can speak about a dire like
situation,
humanitarian situation.
Like my
that the whole world has deemed. That the whole world, every human rights organization has deemed an apartheid state already.
Yeah, it's because it's how, I'll say, how well they've done dehumanizing us. Right. That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah.
When you can get so many people behind a dehumanization of a certain ethnicity, ethnic group of people, and make them believe these people are monsters. Right. But it's just like, how dumb do you have to be to see 10,000 slaughtered 3-year-olds?
Right.
To say that was justice.
Right.
Like, what?
Let me play devil's advocate on Khaled though. On DJ Khaled. Okay, my brother, my Palestinian brother. Let me play devil's advocate, right? He's a successful entrepreneur.
Yes.
He has a lot of big deals. He's an important like entertainer in the music industry, generates a lot of revenue for himself, for his family, for his extended family, you know. So a Palestinian with funds. Like, we don't know he's not like donating a village in Palestine, helping the hungry, helping the displaced. We don't know, right? Like, that's the thing. So like, are we gonna bash him all the way to the point where we make him so embarrassed to just talk about his own people when we need him to?
Right.
Like, I feel like that's not cool.
Okay.
Right? But somebody needs to talk to him, though. One of the brothers, one of the achis that need to talk to him.
Yeah.
Right? But listen, legitimately, people are losing their jobs, dude.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So do we as Palestinian Americans, do we want our brother on the street?
No.
Have to sell all his properties, sell everything, and like have to start over in an entertainment world where everything in value is access and like publicity. It's publicity.
Right.
He's in the publicity world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But it's wrong though. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. The dynamic is wrong. Like, a man like that is probably hurting. His heart is hurting, bro. His heart is hurting, right? There's no way he's not seeing his Palestinian brothers and sisters and he's not fucking impacted. He has family in Jenin, bro. He has family in West
I know
Bank.
he still has family out there.
Like, maybe we're jumping the gun too much with Khaled.
Here's the thing. I haven't spoke much on the Khaled situation. I don't involve myself.
No, not you.
With it.
Not you.
No. I know. I'm saying generalized.
You've been super respectful about it.
Yeah.
But there's been other like people in the community. It's been widespread.
Yeah, it's a trend right now.
It's a trend.
It's a trend to bash the guy. I get it.
Right.
But my thing is, I would understand. I know you're playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I'm just So I don't want to crucify the guy.
Yeah, no, of course. I think the only thing that upsets me is it would be different if you were completely silent and off the internet. Right. But the guy's like, new shoes, new house. Oh, I'm with my boys, having a good time every day.
Right.
Like, you're completely ignoring the situation. There's a difference between staying silent, staying out of it, and not posting anything out of somewhat of respect, right? Yeah. And then just going about your normal life, showing off your clothes. I think that's the only thing that gets me angry with the Khaled situation.
But at some point, bro, like even for music, like even for you as an artist, right? If you're gonna take on like this artistry and this public figure and monetization on all the media networks, on the social networks as your primary way of generating revenue, like you're gonna have to also put together programming and content that's not always related to Palestine.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys are always gonna have to keep elevating on your brand, keep talking about Palestine, keep incorporating it. But I think the algorithms, I mean, we already see, the platforms are playing with the algorithms in regards to Palestine, right?
Right.
So, is there going to be Palestine fatigue for your fans? Even though it's such an important thing.
Yeah.
But do we want your fans rolling down with you for the long haul, or just through a temporary kind of like movement and then I'm gone?
Right. Yeah, no, I know,
what I mean?
Where you're coming from.
You know what I mean? That's the balance. That's hard to juggle that right now as an artist and as a creator, as a content creator. I don't necessarily have to worry about that, right?
Yeah.
But I feel for my like other creators that rely heavily. We're talking. The show's called Pay the Creators.
Yeah.
So like income and revenue and music is from streaming services, from media platforms, from these kind of places, and it's such a. I always wondered like, what are your thoughts like on balancing that, having to balance that? When do you start balancing that? It's like right now we can't.
You're so in the middle. You're in between a rock and a hard place, right? Like, I think you have to balance it, right? Especially if you're in that position where you have to, focus on other things, but you're also, I got to stick with my people. I got to speak out for my people. So, right now, thank God, this is all I'm focused on. This is what I want to push right now, and other things are coming. I'm still doing content for other things in the future, right? Like I have a bunch of other singles that have nothing to do with Palestine. I'm shooting videos for them currently, but I'm not going to release them right now. But I am still working. I'm still finding that balance, but I'm just prioritizing, I'd say. Yeah. But for somebody else who probably isn't Palestinian but also believes in the cause, I think those people would have to find that medium, right? You have to find that medium. You have to have time to speak out on that situation. You have to have time for your life, for your bills, for what you got to do to survive. You know what I mean? We can't drop everything, and lose our homes and and be behind on bills and all these kind of things. I get that. I do understand, but like I said, there's always a difference between being completely silent and, you know, standing on the right side of humanity, right? So I think that's where I stand with it.
I think, but you know, I think we're us as Palestinians, like who are entrepreneurs, who are working and contributing to this economy, deep down in our heart, like we really, at the end of the day, we would love to be working full time for Palestine.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Like, full time, all day long, 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been for me, it's like in my mind, I full time work for Palestine. I've always full time worked for Palestine.
Always, man, since I remember,
in my
dude.
prayers and my heart, all the time, right? Ever since I first stepped foot on that beautiful land, you know, and it's a tough balance. It's a tough balance. Right now is a very, very like important time in history.
Yeah.
I don't even think shit like this has ever really happened like this. Like the way it's been broadcasted on
it's a different world we're living in. Oh, if we're comparing it to something, we have to compare it to the Germany, you know, era, right? What happened between Germany and the Jews. So if we're comparing it in that sense, but it's a different world we're living. We're in a media world. Everything's televised. Everything's on phones. Everything's on camera. Everything's in your face now. People can't hide things, right? Yeah. Like you can't get away with some murder or genocide and then say, "Oh, wasn't me, wasn't there," and then nobody can pinpoint you to a location or anything. Like it's a different era. And that's what I think. That's what irks me, man. Is dude, we're getting it on camera. Here it is, proof right here in front of your face, but you still turn a blind eye. You still turn your cheek. You know what I mean? So it is a completely different world we're living in. It is not the same. So yeah, it is different now. It's 100%.
The amount of like love and support and just like outpouring of cries from everywhere around the world. We may not have our own state, but we have permanent real estate in people's hearts.
Yeah. And we have each other.
Like, not for real.
Yeah.
Like we have, our goal is the state. We're not backing down on that.
No. We ain't giving up.
I'd like to know, like, just like, how many causes, like worldly international causes, have this kind of like diversity in love and support, outpouring like support.
I've never seen that.
It's crazy.
Especially just, you know,
especially from the States. And the States is not, you know.
And obviously we're living in a TikTok, Instagram world where we see it all. And it's just like, man, when we went to the protests in Austin, obviously we've seen a lot of Arabs, but dude, how many African-American, white, Mexican, Asian, I mean, dude, and it's not just Austin where we were, everywhere. It's insane. This is a global movement. This isn't a small portion of Palestinians who are marching around in the streets. This is global, right? Yeah. Like, I think people are forgetting that, you know? I've never seen something like that. There's been a lot of shit in this ugly world, for sure. Yeah. But I don't think I've ever seen so many different ethnic backgrounds group up so powerfully, right? So I think it's beautiful to see, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's power in that. There's power in that. You feel that this energy, the solidarity is, as a Palestinian, that's like, we've been going through this every single day, every single year, and like knowing about it my whole life and hearing the stories from my family and their journey and their displacement, you know? And it's traumatizing to keep going through it over and over and over. I'm tired. Like we're really tired of it.
Yeah. I mean,
but I'm more energized than ever. Honestly, when you really think about it, it's like one of the greatest honors to always like live life for, live life just like bringing like awareness to like your people.
Yeah, you're standing on the right side of humanity and you're fighting for your people. Yeah. You're a fighter. You know what I mean? I think in this era, in this time, to do what we do, especially on our end of the spectrum, right? We're artists. So people need us or need our voice, right? And that actually goes back to something I wanted to bring up, you know? I think it.
So hold on. So DJ Khaled, we need you on the show.
Yeah,
DJ
yeah.
Khaled,
We want to talk
I'm
to
on
you,
the show.
Khaled.
All respect to you, brother. Let's talk. I would love to talk with you. I know for sure your heart is where it needs to be. And I think people are misunderstanding you. So I'd love to talk to you. And if you don't feel comfortable talking, that's fine. We'll talk on the phone or something.
We'll message or something. We'll call you. We'll call your people. So yeah, I think why I'm saying our voices, people need our voices, right? It's funny because when I was making The Sound of War, right, I think I was getting a lot of backlash at first, simply because of the cursing, right? So, you're always going to get the aunties and the ammos and the jiddos and the tetes. Oh, why the cursing? Why you got to say this? But
Right.
I always said Sound of War stemmed from anger, right? And once all the bullshit subsided, right, from, oh, he cussed, right? And they kept seeing what they were seeing online, people angered and people wanted to get behind my words and say, fuck you. They wanted to say, fuck you.
Let's listen to Sound of War real quick.
Yeah, let's bump that.
Let's listen to it. And then I want to this is the song that has...
News telling lies, check the facts that they cover. Cause my people out here crying, or they dying, or they suffer. And just notice for my people up in Gaza and Ramallah, and it's free Palestine until it's backwards, motherfucker. I'm a speaker for my people, fuck this rap shit. Forcing children out their homes when they ain't have shit. Killing mothers, children, asking why there's no one here to love them. And y'all really asking questions why I swore, motherfucker. Cause
connecting to somebody,
know that everyone
where it's hard to get out of your
knows
head.
it's time to take Palestine back this time.
Yeah, I need to hear more singing.
Yeah, no, I will. I got a lot of singing coming, man.
What about Ramallah, West Bank, yeah, for Gaza?
Who's this guy?
This is Batata. This is my boy, the potato.
Don't worry
He
about
came
the
in
dog,
and
got
smashed
you.
out.
I'll gas, no brakes, no stoplights.
Once this ends, I'll give the backstory and how it came about.
I do not want friends.
How Sound of War
I do not
became
need
Sound of
fools. Yes, I found peace, but I swear on God, I'm down for war. Rockets dropping, bullets popping, it's a war zone. And I got brothers in the checkpoint just to get home. How to get like that? How we did this happen? Better pick your side. Don't give me that all out matter. Are you ready? Ready for the action? One call, that's all, get it cracking. Click, clack, with the blowback, get I lick back in a ski mask ready for planting.
Know that everyone knows
legend.
it's
We love you,
time
dog.
to take Palestine back this time. We won't hesitate now. I know that this is the sound. Cause I know that everyone knows
Sound of War.
Sound of War.
Sound of War by Mr. Eddy Mack. That's the song that's been lighting up TikTok, lighting up Instagram.
Yes.
You got crazy influential people sharing it.
Yeah.
All over the place.
It's kind of crazy to see, man. Honestly, it is. Especially to
Who
see.
was the most surprising person that shared it? You're like, holy shit.
Huda Beauty.
Oh, Huda Beauty.
Yeah, that was a big shocker for me, man. Because here's the thing. Obviously, we're men. We're not into makeup and all this kind of shit. But Huda, because she's like the Arab Kylie of makeup, right? So I grew up with two sisters and a mother who are absolutely just like, they're queens, right? Like they love their stylish shit. So Huda's their favorite product. So I can't tell you how many times I bumped into some Huda products on my sister's vanity, growing up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my sisters adore Huda. Like they love her products. They get her shit all the time. So I didn't even know Huda reposted me. Like that was the crazy part, right? I think, yeah. So I woke up and I think my sister Leali, she called me. She's like, oh my God, Huda just posted you. I said, I'm getting out of bed, right? I'm like, what? Huh? Who's Huda, right? She's like, Huda Beauty just posted you, right? And I'm like, no fucking way. So I go, I see it. She ended up following me too.
Yeah.
And she's such a sweetheart. Her and her husband, Christopher, love them. Both of them, man. They're amazing.
Amazing.
And they're so supportive. And I mean, dude, Huda alone, being who she is in this business world of makeup, pulling out of Israel. I mean, completely boycotting them. Like, this is your business, right? Like, we're artists, like, you know, we're gonna give backlash, whatever.
Right.
But she, as a huge, you know, business, you know, entity,
right,
to do what she did, that's bravery, man. That you're putting your business on the line.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I noticed? She got more love. She got even more love. Right. So
she got even more support.
Even more support. And that's the thing. Going back on the Khaled situation, I think if he did, we won't let you fall, brother. Right. We won't let you fall down. You know, but that, we'll get back to that. Hopefully we get him on the set, have a convo with him. Yeah. But shout out Huda.
It's tough.
But that was probably the craziest thing I've seen. There was a lot of crazy moments, but that was one of them for sure.
When did you know that, like, the catchy part? But we talked about this too, because a lot of artists, they always never think about this when they're distributing their songs to like DistroKid or anywhere, right? Where they are not selecting the preview sections that they want to tell all the DSPs to make sure, like, these are the preview spots right here. These are the parts that I really want available as sounds and as usable sounds on social media. Or then they get into a situation where one of their fans uploads another version of their song on a different part. It gets taken down. They don't have the rights to do it. You know what I mean?
So it's very important.
Yes. I wanted you to talk about how important was it to choose that part? How did you choose that part?
Oh, okay. The catchy part.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, absolutely.
Was that just automatic? You're like, this is the part?
Yeah. No. So it's funny because I actually, Sound of War, the Free Palestine Till It's Backwards part, I built the whole song around that. Because I knew that that part of the song was going to give everybody a voice, or they could use it as a quick tool to say, hey, fuck you, this is who I side with. Right. That's how TikTok works. It's 5-6 second things that pop off, right? Yeah. So I knew this line alone, everybody can hit record, they can mouth my lyrics and say, I stand with Palestine, fuck you, basically.
Right. It was an easy way to protest.
Yeah, in a catchy, swaggy way. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I presented it. So the process of making Sound of War, I started with that line. Even when I was in the backyard.
Can you tell the story? Yeah. About.
So I was in the backyard with a Batata. Okay? Right. Shout out Batata. This is my motherfucking guy.
And he was just visiting.
He was just visiting. Okay? This is the story of Sound of War, guys. This is going to be what's posted everywhere. Okay? So the story of Sound of War is me and Batata. He was visiting from Sacramento. He came out to see me, him and his wife. And it was just me and him. We were in the backyard, kind of just sitting down, chilling. And you know those silent moments you have with your boys? It's not awkward, but your boy's just doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. We're both on our phones. We're both on our phones, and he's scrolling, and I'm hearing terror and screams from Palestine. I'm scrolling, terror and screams from Palestine. Right? Just back and forth. That's all I'm hearing from his phone. It's all he's hearing from my phone. I swear to you, we put our phones down at the same second, kind of just did one of these things, kind of just stared off. And then I looked at Batata and I was like, we need to make something for Palestine. He shot up. He shot up like this. He got up immediately and just walked into the studio. My studio's in my house. So he just walked in there. He didn't even say a word. The guy was war ready, right? Mm-hmm. So we got in there. I didn't even want to waste time on the beat, right? And I think everybody's like, oh, that beat is so simple, but it all worked out so well. The beat's simple. It's honestly because I wasn't trying to waste time on the beat. We had creative juices flowing, right? So I got the BPM of the beat because I simply kept going, Free Palestine Till It's Backwards, motherfucker. I kept doing that. So I built the whole song around that. That was the BPM.
Got it.
So then I laid that shit down and Batata was like, yo, right? That's gonna hit, right? Batata laid down his verse.
So you laid it with no instrumental, no melody yet.
No. There was an instrumental. That's why the beat was so simple, right?
Because you already had the melody with the flutes.
No, I did that.
After you did the BPM.
Yeah, after I did the BPM.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's different.
Yeah. So I hit the BPM first, and I hit the melody, right?
So you started with the catchy. Part first, and then built a song around it.
Yep. So once I started laying down the keys, he loved it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was cool.
Right.
So I didn't want to waste time on the beat. That's why the beat was very simple. Yeah. So we just laid something down. I laid down some simple hats in a drum kick pattern. Very simple, right? Mm-hmm. And so we got so into the song that we kind of didn't even want to change anything. We were just like, man, this is great.
Right.
I don't want to fix nothing that's not broken, right? So he ended up laying down his verse, and he had a flight the next morning. So he had left the next morning. It's been a couple days passed by. He called me. He's like, have you finished up the song? So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to finish it up. So I ended up finishing up, the rest of the part. I didn't think nothing of it, right? I'm like, this is cool. We're going to we'll get some love for it. It's good for the movement. I know people are angry, and I want to do this for them, right? I want to do this for Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting for it to be what it was.
Right.
I had no intention behind it. My intention was just for people to use it as a tool to gather as many people as possible to show who really supports who. So we ended up,
And you know what's crazy? It's so easy to say, nah, I'm just going to chill in the backyard, barbecue with my boy, hang out.
We're just like, screw it.
Yeah, we could have just easily just hung out that day.
Yeah, it was fate. And we were both kind of lazy and tired that night. But we were just like anger motivated us, And it's so funny because when I was mixing the track down, nobody's heard the song but me and Batata yet. Okay, Nobody's heard this. I'm mixing the track down. My father walks in behind me in the studio, okay? And he's just vibing out. He's like, what is this shit you're playing, man? You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, which one? I was going between a couple tracks. He's like, the free Palestine till she back there, bitch, or something like that. And I was like, I never made a song like that in my life. So I ended up playing the track for him. He listened to it too.
Shout out to Amma, bro.
Yeah, Bob, what's up, man? My Khaled,
Khaled.
Yeah. So he's like, play it a few more times. My dad's my biggest fan. I love my father, man. He's my rock. He's my biggest fan. I'll tell that to anybody.
Yeah.
He's sitting behind me, and he's just like, play it. I played it. He's like, play it again. Play it again. He was so in tune with it, right? And he was like, this one's gonna blow. And I'm like, we say that a lot, He's like, no, I know, but this is gonna blow, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, Bob, I talked to I have serious conversations with my father. I'm like, do you think I'm gonna get some backlash for this, for the cussing, for this, for that? He's like, of course you are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna sit here and lie to you. He said, but when all the bullshit subsides, when all the bullshit is gone and all the mist clears, people are gonna use it. They're gonna rally behind it. This is my father telling me this. I'm not thinking this. He said people are gonna be as angry as you, and they're gonna use this, and they're gonna rally behind it, and by the thousands they're gonna march to it, which they fucking did. I'm getting chills thinking about it.
He just knew it.
He just knew, and we ended up putting it out. It was doing okay on TikTok and Instagram for a few days. I didn't really care. I was like, you know what? I just want to show people I support Palestine. Then a girl named Fifi, shout out Fifi. She has 1 million followers on TikTok, and she just did something so quick. Exactly what I said, Abe. Put the camera in front of you, free Palestine till it's backwards, motherfucker. That's all she did. And within a day, she almost had 1 million views on it. Daily. I'm seeing 1,000 videos made, 2,000 videos made, 5,000 videos made to this sound. And I was like, whoa, this thing is getting out of control. And it's a lot of influencers with millions of followers doing it, Even celebrities I kind of grew up watching and seeing and know of, and then it got just out of control. People rallied behind it. And, that's really the backstory on it. And, now we're here at Pay the Fucking Creators.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. And we met like even before at Anissa's show, like we mentioned. And, I went back and listened to your catalog, and I was like, oh, before Sound of War even came out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this guy's got it. He's dope.
I appreciate it, man.
Sick.
Thank you.
And doing it independently, right?
Independent, always.
Doing all yourself, just doing your own distribution.
Everything. From the beginning, artwork to distribution to engineering to production for the most part.
Yeah, let's get into that a little bit, because in the beginning you said you were really focused on just like buying beats.
I was going through BeatStars, and now I'm sitting with the man,
Right.
So
but like guys like Dilly Got It Bumpin'.
Dilly Got It Bumpin' was big. What's actually crazy? This track I just dropped today was by Sensei, right?
Oh, Sensei.
And I didn't know Sensei. When Work Rate, the guy that was on the track with me, that's his right hand. That's his producer.
Dope.
So he got me in contact with him for the song that we were doing today.
Dope.
And I'm like, I heard the tag. I'm like, is this Sensei, right? He's
Sick.
like, yeah, what's up? Another full circle moment, right? I used to get a bunch of Sensei beats back then. So
yeah,
Man.
Yo, another shout out to Sensei and Works Crate. He's like,
he's killing it, man. In the UK, he's tearing it up, dude.
You think he's ever going to reveal who he is?
I don't know, man. Listen, I've seen who he is, right?
Yeah.
But
He's smart.
he's a smart kid, and you know what? He's very respectful. He's very respectful kid.
Yeah, he's killing it. I'm loving the flow. Shout out to him, man. I just discovered him a couple weeks ago on TikTok.
From his song Gaza 1 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
His delivery.
I was like, dude, this dude's going in, dude.
He's
sick.
hard. Yeah.
And speaking of the UK, and another BeatStars producer. It's crazy. It's like all these BeatStars producers producing these like anthems for the movement right now.
Yeah.
You know, you had Low Key, shout out the legend Low Key. Work with a guy that also sells beats on BeatStars, and his name is Scott Zilla. And just hearing his production on a Low Key beat, I'm sure they've worked with each other, doing all kind of crazy shit with each other, you know. And Low Key is absolute legend, and the song is dope. And then my Free Palestine track is produced by Cujo. So it's like our producers, the BeatStars producers, have like they're part of this in a way. We didn't really ask them.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the movement, boys. You got no choice. You're a part of it. They hate you as much as they hate us now.
That's the I guess the benefit of being like having a free open market is like, you know, best idea wins, right? Like have your beats available, and you never know what's going to happen with one of your beats. And you know, I'll probably talk to Cujo. I'm like, did you ever think like your beat would turn into like a Palestinian anthem, or you know, same thing with your
That's
stuff,
what we just dealt with with the message to the world with Pele 1080.
Right.
The guy had no idea. I went and got his beat from BeatStars. Me and you, we figured it out, right? And you know, obviously, I'm always going to show love to the producer, so I ended up tagging him, and then here we go. It's got 600,000-700,000 views on IG,
right?
And the guy's just like, "What the hell?" You know what I mean? Because I gave him full credit, put his name in there, and you know, he messaged me, and he goes, "Hey, brother, I love it, man. I'm a part of this movement with you." Like, you know what I mean? Because in my head, I'm like, damn, I just got this guy in the middle of some shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Maybe we shouldn't tag him, but
yeah, exactly. But he was just like, man, I love it. You know, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for using my beat.
Man, the BeatStars producers are the shit.
Bro. You got a nice family, man. I call it the BeatStars family for sure.
For real, bro. For real. Like my dogs are down, and our girls, our producers, they're like the artists, like just you guys. Yeah, blessing, bro. They're remixing. They're remixing my song right now on a contest, and I've heard some crazy remixes.
I love that, man. I got to hear some of these, by the way, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna put out a whole like just a release.
Do an album.
Yeah,
a remix album. Yeah.
Yep. They're getting the old man back in the game. You know what I mean?
Oh
it's
man,
fun,
no,
man.
You got it.
It's fun. It's fun. It's like, you know, it's fun and it's a duty, right? You know. And, you know, we do it because I think we have this artistic abilities embedded in our DNA to express ourselves, and, you know, we do it right.
Yeah.
You know,
even as Palestinian.
People like our music, man.
Music is in Palestinian and Jordanian, Arab blood, man. It's a part of us.
How many Arab samples have inspired like some of the biggest hits?
Jay-Z's, you know, like,
all
dude.
All of it. So many hits. Anyway, back to it. Like, TikTok is a pretty interesting dynamic. You know, TikTok is a pretty interesting dynamic. You know, for the first time ever, you can really like embrace your culture, really, and take it mainstream. Yeah. In a way, you know?
Yeah.
Probably the monetization is not that great, right? Yet they're probably still trying to figure all that shit out. Hopefully they can figure it out soon, because we need y'all to pay the creators.
So yeah, there is a way to monetize on TikTok as an artist. Yeah.
Right.
It's through your distribution.
Sure.
So that's something you guys got to learn. Right. Artists, learn your distribution. Learn your distribution, every aspect of it.
Yeah.
Trust me, guys. You have to. This is how you run your business. Your distribution is first.
It's important, bro. Like, you need to know your royalty rates, bro. You need to know what you're getting per stream from each platform. You need to understand how your music is being valued in the world. And right now, it's pretty hard.
Yeah. This is a business, man.
No, but I'm saying, like, it's pretty hard to, like, A
make
million
living.
streams is not feeding nobody.
No. And,
you know?
And you don't get it for a few months with most distributions. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's always
Right.
on a big delay.
Right.
Like me personally, I'm with DistroKid, right?
Yeah.
There's a big delay. You know, I think that's a big problem because the distribution companies can't pay out until they get paid.
Yeah, they have to wait. They got to wait till all the stores pay them out, and then they got to do accounting. And then
Exactly. Then they got to pay it out.
It's tougher. It's tougher, especially for like an artist that's getting all this crazy buzz right now, this moment that you want to like reinvest in your career immediately.
Even
right
bring
now.
it back into Palestine too at this point. You know what I mean?
But it's hard.
It's tough, you know?
Yeah.
But man.
So you ever think about doing anything like direct to fan? You ever think about like doing your own kind of release direct to your fans?
So we're actually
something with merch, with
Yeah.
CDs, maybe something not CDs, but maybe even digital
We're doing an NFT.
vinyl. You know,
So I've been talking with these people
Mm-hmm.
about doing an NFT album, right? To kind of own an album
yeah,
that is not available to the public.
right,
So here's the thing that's great about this, of where I'm at, is that I've made music for 10 years, right? And I knew
Shout out to Nebula. I think my homies, my cousin Flood Hawit's got Nebulas, which is like a NFT music marketplace,
Exactly.
collectibles, you know,
which is great,
blockchain,
right?
Blockchain stuff.
So I've made music for 10 years and I have a vault. I mean, it's probably got 100 songs in it, right? That I always said, I know I'm going to get to this point in my career. It sucks right now, but I'll get there. I have a lot of amazing songs that I was like, I'm not going to release this till I'm at where I want to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's cool because these ideas and these things, these NFT albums, it's not like something I have to work on. It's like, here, put these 10 songs in an album, have a nice day, put it as an NFT.
Right.
So I've been very prepared for all of it. So I'm really excited about that. That's one of the first things we're gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, figure out a way to get something in a different experience to your fans for sure. Because, you know, controlling how you distribute your music and how you can forecast and build a business for yourself on the independent side, the easier the relationship with the fan, the better.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
But you got to all take advantage of all of it. You know, you got to figure out a way to balance all of it because, you know, there's huge mass audience on these mainstream platforms and you got to kind of got to be there in some shape or form.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not. There's a lot of artists that are actually like going solo dolo, direct to consumer first. Some bigger artists, I think. Is it Talib Kweli that's doing that? You got La Russell. You got our boy Curtis King doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're showing the value with going direct to fan and building your own, you know. Anyway, your own business. Interesting. It's always good to see alternatives. It's always good to see other people innovating in the space, especially with technology. You gotta try new shit.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta try new shit. And I think fans that are associated, that are like, you know, locked into a movement that you have, right? With your song, it's like they're willing to support, bro.
Yeah.
They're willing to support. They want to keep your voice going.
Yeah, they
you know?
Yeah, they want it. They
got to
want
package it right.
Yeah, of course. And I think independency is very important, especially these days. You know what I think that I've never brought up, and I'll make this quick. I think Russ gets zero to no credit, and I'll tell you why. Right? Obviously, because he's not this Grammy artist, because he's independent, right? But before Russ, who was really showing us the ropes, right? He really stamped that independency shit. And a lot of us artists today need to owe that guy our life, right? Because shout out Russ, he taught me how to be independent, how to own your shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for him not to get that type of credit, he should be in his own lane, right? Like that's a whole other brand that he should be associated with, that, and he's the only one in it, right? Of like people we look up to who did certain things. This guy single-handedly taught a lot of us how to do it ourselves, right? So major love to Russ, man, and thank God now I'm at where I'm at in my career. I learned so much and soaked so much up from him to where I'm so prepared and I'm happy because I don't have to report to anybody, right? At this point in my career. And, you know, there's power in independency for sure.
Yeah, man. Like how would you describe the evolution of your music? you know, from where it started to like who you are now as an artist?
So that's funny you said that. When I first started, it was really like a lot of singy kind of shit, right? Which I love that. I love it. I'm good at it, right? But I think my growth in terms of versatility, right? Because in my tenure, right, I have dropped an R&B, I have dropped house, I have dropped a ballad, I have dropped pop, I have dropped rap, I have dropped you name it.
Right.
There's nothing I shy away from. So I think that's what I kind of want to be known for. As a brand, like this guy will bring a hit no matter what it's on. You know what I mean? No matter what the genre, I want to be genreless, you know? So I think versatility is where I've grown the most. I'm not scared to jump onto a soft John Lennon piano ballad and pour my heart out, and then next second I'm ripping people to shreds in a song rapping. You know what I mean?
Well, the song you dropped today.
Oh yeah,
the song you dropped today was not like in the same vein of Sound of War. So that was like totally different.
Yeah, no, I was pissed, right?
Yeah.
These Israeli artists. And that's a whole nother subject. I want your opinion on too, Abe.
Yeah.
Is how is Demi Palestini, right? How is it taken? We are aware it's taken down off streaming platforms, correct?
We still don't know exactly why, right? We don't know the real reason.
But we kind of know, right? Like it's
a
part of a movement that they don't want to push, right?
Yeah, there's never been like a solid answer, but I think there's conflict somewhere.
There's definitely conflict, but for these two Israeli artists, Stilla and Ness, right, who I clap back at today and absolutely fucking destroyed, by the way. They charted #1 in Israel on Apple. Right. Now, the things they were saying in this song was call for the genocide of Palestinians. They're all sons of whores. They're disgusting. Kill them all. Let's write their names on bombs as we drop them on them.
Right.
And Apple, you allowed this
to be #1.
To go #1. But yet we're censored and silent on everything we're saying.
Right.
We're censored. Right. But you allow that to go #1. But you take down them, our song. Right. So,
yeah. So, I guess just like breaking down like what the lyrics were saying, there was a lot of genocidal, braggadocious, kind of like ego, arrogant, dangerous talk, you know, very dangerous talk actually. And they did it in a very polished format too. Like the music video, the song. Like it wasn't.
You could tell it was funded.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Very funded.
It wasn't just like some indie song that went viral. Like these dudes came out, you know.
They were funded
with some production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whoever was behind that signed off on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, the same people who funded all that funded it to go #1.
Yeah. But you felt that you had to respond to the song. Like you felt like you had to respond. And it just came out, right? So you guys
just today.
Wait, their song just came out too, right?
Their song came out about a couple weeks ago, I believe. Maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks max. Yeah.
Bro, it's so like confusing right now. It's so confusing.
Yeah.
It's like we tried the peaceful route, you know? It's like we tried the peaceful route for so long.
Respect is out of the window at this point, like, especially with the song I dropped.
Bro, we tried. We tried for so long. 75 years.
75 years.
We tried, dog. We tried. We were under your shoe. Under your shoe for 75 years. I mean, we tried. We gave in to everything in negotiations, you know? But it's hard, man. It's hard to balance like anger with also trying to figure out ways to bridge bridges somehow.
Right? Yeah. Like,
you know, so
try
hard.
to find
it's
like
I'm looking for a bridge. I'm like, please just send over a bridge, dog.
Something,
just
right?
send over a bridge. Send over something, bro. Let's work.
Yeah, stop killing us.
Let's work. Let's
know?
get together. Let's figure this out. You know what I mean? Like send over a bridge, bro.
There's nothing. They don't want a bridge.
You put a wall. We can't get to the bridge, dog.
They want to level us. They don't want a bridge.
You surrounded us around the wall.
Yeah.
On a wall. You know, took away our basic resources.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So it's like, it's so hard not to be angry. It's so hard. But is it justified? I feel it's justified.
Oh, our anger? Absolutely, it's
Our anger
justified.
is justified.
Yeah.
We want justice.
I mean, are we asking for much for peace and freedom? And our people can't get that, and you guys are upset with us when we want to speak out and march and protest? And the way the news is portraying us isn't fair whatsoever. Yeah. They don't say pro-Palestinian lives, they say pro-terrorist. That's how they label us. Because we're getting our children slaughtered by the tens of thousands, we're pro-terrorist.
Right.
Is what is the agenda, right? That's what they're pushing.
Yeah. You can't even stand for no human rights.
What fucking world are we living in, Abe? What world is this? That we're standing up for peace.
Bro, you know what's crazy? And like, we would be at the negotiating table like so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm not sure.
No, I don't know.
Now I'm not
That's
sure.
the scary
like
part.
now I'm not sure. I mean, it was already bad. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure. I think the world's got to handle this one.
That's what we're doing.
This is, you know what I mean? And the world's got to handle this one somehow. The responsible superpowers of the world need to come together, and they need to figure this out for us, because
the United Nations.
This is too much.
Yeah, this
is too much. America, you gotta figure this out.
And it's a scary place we're in, right? Like,
Russia, China,
yeah.
all you guys come together, and you got to figure this out for us. Like, put your political and economic and all your beefs that you have with each other and your competitiveness, put that aside. Just do the Palestinians right now. End the genocide.
Just be human
and revert back to our rightful land that was, rightfully ours, and allow for Palestinians to return and to build a prosperous nation for our grandchildren, for my kids, for your kids in the future. Let us live a little bit, man.
Can our kids go to school?
Can we live, dog?
Can we live, dog? Like,
is it cool? Can we live? Let's ask the 20,000 people that are dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, dog. It's crazy.
It's a sick world. It's a sick world we're living in.
Heavy topics, dude. It's hard not to fucking go into it, man.
Yeah, it's just, but because we're angry, man. We want to talk about it. This isn't something we're just doing. It's a part of us now.
I didn't know what to expect, really, of like sitting down with you and having a podcast. I wrote down like pages of notes, and I'm not even, it's hard, dude. It's like a venting session. It
is. But that's what it is. That's how you know it's genuine, what we're doing, right? Yeah. Like, we're genuinely angry. We're hurt, to where we come to a podcast with an agenda of, let's get our points across. Let's hit this. Let's hit that. And then we sit down and it's like, Palestine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's all that matters to us.
Right.
That's what's important. Right. You got these papers here in front of, and it's like.
It goes back to Palestine. So hard.
It's what we care about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
It's consuming us.
It's our heart.
But I think we have to take care of ourselves, though. We got to take care of ourselves. Absolutely. This is a long game, and it's an immediate game as well, too. It's not just a long game no more. It's an immediate game. We got to play. We got to fight right now. We got to fight for our people, and it's all consuming. All consuming. What else is on your mind, bro? Like, I know, like, as an artist, you're in this moment. You're about to go to LA, I think, right?
Yeah, Thursday.
You're about to go to LA. You've been going out there a lot, shooting videos and stuff.
It's kind of exhausting, but it's fun. It's cool. I'm gonna go back and protest a little bit too, and then we'll get some shots out there, and then we'll keep pushing what we're pushing. And I also go out there to prep myself and prepare myself for the next portion of my career. You know what I mean? I'm always a big advocate on staying ready. Right. So I'm gonna go back out there. I'm gonna film for the song we just dropped today, the response, right? So we're gonna get that out of the way, and then I got some other ideas, some old songs I kind of want to revitalize and make some content and videos for. And I love being in California, man. I lived there for 5 years, so it's home to me still. A lot of my people are out there, my best friends, and it's nice. It's nice to go back. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see Joe out there.
Joe Kakish?
Yeah.
The legend.
The legend himself.
The legend Joe, man. Get Lit Entertainment, man. Shout out to Get Lit. They were doing their thing.
They kind of paved the way, right, man? Right? Like, they Get Lit That's funny we brought that up. Get
Come
Lit.
on, man. Get Lit had it popping.
Yeah, because right, like they at that point in time, they were saying they were like the rugged Arab, like they were gonna say what they want type of shit. You know what I mean? They weren't censored. Like
Yeah.
they were like, we're gonna say what we want, you know? And
They were just creating dope ass Arabic party
Yeah.
music, bro. It was Arabic
Yeah,
party
exactly.
music. You
I love
know, it was
they're great
it was-
people. All of them, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the whole Get Lit crew. They were on my first album. Yeah. They're
Shit.
great, man. So Joe, Rob, all those guys over there. So LA, and then you got your music stuff,
Mhm.
and you know, you got your current projects that you're working on. You're gonna start releasing them.
Yeah.
We gave a lot of advice back to the
Mhm.
to the community, and we shared that you can be yourself and express your culture and find success and talk about really important topics
Mhm.
and catch an audience and build something, right? As an Arab American artist.
Mhm.
But what do you think you've learned so far the most about this journey? Like, what do you think you've learned where it's like, oh, this is the reason, this is what I was born to do?
Are you saying like the longevity of what I've been through in music, like chasing what I'm chasing, what I've learned the
Yeah.
most in that process?
Yeah. What have you learned throughout since the beginning? Building something up to 100 million stream song on TikTok. Like,
You know what? It's an overly used term, but I think it's perfectly fitting.
Mhm.
What doesn't break you makes you, right? I think being in music and suffering through this for so long, and I'm not in a bragging sense whatsoever. I know I'm good. I know I'm good at what I do, and I think it was very frustrating at first to constantly be putting out good music and get zero recognition. That's the toughest part about music, right? When everybody around you is like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is gonna blow." Every time you make a song, and nothing,
right.
just disappointment year after year after year, right? But I felt like God works mysteriously, and at this time, I think personally, what God wanted for me,
Mhm.
He's like, I want you to struggle because I want you to get better at what you do, because there's something big coming, which I believe is the Palestine conflict, and I need you to be ready for it. I need you to speak out, and I need you to be really good at it. You're going to deal with a lot, just like the situation with this Stella and Ness person,
Mhm.
and I need you to respond. I need you to fight. I need you to use your voice and your words, but I need you to be ready for it, right? So now
It's a lot of pressure.
it's a lot of pressure, right? But what doesn't break you makes you. So I felt like all that I went through, music comes to me like this now, man. Beats come to me like this. Creativity, whatever it is, it molded me. It made me stronger. I personally, I can, and this is, I am saying this humbly as possible. From what I went through, I'll go toe to toe with anybody. And I'll stand on that right now. I'll go toe to toe with anybody.
You're hungry right now.
I'm hungry. And that's the biggest thing too, Abe. Like, I'm not only hungry, I'm angry still.
Mhm.
There's still anger in my heart because I still feel like I never got that recognition I felt I deserved, right? And now it's at a point where it's like you used to want to prove to everybody that I'm good. Listen to my music, repost my music, love me, listen to this, right? But now I'm at this point now where I don't have to beg and ask. And now it's more of like I need to prove something to myself.
Mhm.
Because I keep proving something to myself every day. Everybody else is just going to keep following along at this point, right? So that's where I'm at. I think, man, I got shitted on a lot in LA. I've been around a lot of labels that kind of used me, did me very dirty, kicked me to the curb after they, got what they needed, stole some songs. I'm not kidding you, man. There's a lot.
Mhm.
And a lot of broken promises to me were made, and a lot of "don't worry, you're next,"
Right. LA's famous for that.
Yeah, right. And I went, and what's funny? I went broke doing that in LA. LA, it's LA.
Yeah.
It's expensive, right? I packed up and I drove all the way back home to Texas while these people laughed at me, And right now, where I'm at, where I'm feeling that anger, is I want to make sure they remember who I am every day. And I'm going to push that fucking issue every day. And I'm going to make them realize who they fucked with. And I'm prepared and I'm loaded up, and they know it too. And yeah, I'm not in the business of mentioning names. I'm not going to do that. I'm not here for that old bullshit like that.
But right now you're focusing on your career.
I'm focusing on my career, and
you're showing the world what you've always known about yourself.
Exactly. You know? And they're going to see that too. So I don't have to go out of my way to prove that. Like I said, I just got to keep proving it to myself. And yeah, that's.
Well, bro, listen, I'm proud of you. I love that whatever small part my platform has played, even in the beginning days, I'm glad that happened. There's that connection.
Yeah, of course.
I'm happy to see just a good dude go out and speak for our people and cultivate a whole new fan base for Palestine that's fighting for our rights and fighting for our people. So I'm proud of your efforts, bro. And I wish you all the continued success. I know this is not the beginning. We're just not the end. This is just the beginning. We're just getting started. I think you're a super dynamic, diverse artist that has a lot of things to talk about, and you're gonna make our people proud, bro. So
I just love, man. I appreciate it, man.
Congrats on everything, man.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, that was Eddy Mack.
Eddy Mack. It's Eddy Mack on all platforms. Literally all platforms. It's Eddy Mack. Be on the lookout. I just dropped a new single today. Shamal Yamin. Go ahead and check that out. And I got a lot more on the way for you guys. Seriously, a lot of really, really good music. And I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Thanks, bro.
Anytime.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Pay the Creators podcast with A-Batch here on BeatStars. Make sure you like, subscribe, and lock in on all the Pay the Creators channels on IG, YouTube, and everywhere to hear the dopest interviews from some of the most amazing independent artists in the world. All right? Peace.